Monday, March 18th, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, we're going to take a look at some incredible sky photos that have been sent in just this past week and over the weekend. We're going to start here in the Florida Panhandle with a photograph that was taken today by Brian Lunsford from Navarre, Florida. This is a panoramic view from the Florida Panhandle, and the sky appears to be just loaded with frequencies. Look at that. Incredible photos sent in by Brian Lunsford. Thank you, Brian. I've got new photos at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery here at the website, MrMBB333.com. Don't forget to check it out. It's linked below every video in the description box. All this data you see here is real-time data, updated every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're going to get to this video, a slideshow I put together of the new photos that have been sent in. Guys, I get a lot of photos. These here are just the ones I chose today because they have similarities. Lines and triangles, or not necessarily triangles, but lines and squares in the sky. I guess you could call it a triangle. But there's been a lot of these things lately, and even meteorologists, or at least I heard one, I can't say all, but I did hear one meteorologist say that this, especially the square you're about to see, they had no explanation for. And this really either. It's kind of unusual, especially that. That's not the leading edge of a thunderstorm. That's just a huge line in the sky that is very, very unusual. But we're going to get to here in just a few minutes. I've got some, this is what looks like that sky curtain. This was taken by Jody H. out of Naples, Florida. She observed this thing in the sky for as far as she could see and has lived here her whole life and has never been compelled to record anything like this because she's never seen anything like it. And like I said, I heard one meteorologist say one day that they didn't know for sure what the exact cause was of such a straight line. Yes, we've all seen the leading edge of thunderstorms and the edge of clouds, but to see something like that that goes on for almost what appears to be infinity, as far as you can see in both directions, it is rather unusual. And it's symmetrical. It's like the same size. It's at the same general height in the sky. It's a perfectly straight line. This is another video, same lady, Jody H. took from Naples, Florida, of the same section of the sky like an hour and a half later. It was still up there. Had hardly moved. It had changed shape a little bit, but it hadn't hardly moved, which in itself is a bit unusual. Here's another look at this same phenomenon from Linwood, California, which is near Los Angeles, sent in by Tony. And he was compelled to take a photograph of it because it just didn't look right, you know. It looked different, like a big curtain in the sky, big line in the sky. Some people are calling it a blanket. Looks like a big blanket over there. Here's another example from Texas, sent in by Edward. And again, as far as you can see, in that direction and to the right. I mean, you couldn't even fit it in the photograph. You'd almost have to do a panoramic to get it all to fit. So another good example of that nice straight line in the sky. And here is an example. Now this could be identified as possibly a roll cloud. It's along the coast of Oregon. These are known to form along coastal communities. I've seen these in the Louisiana area, some big high-profile roll clouds. So this more than likely is a roll cloud. It's unique with regard to there's not a single cloud in the sky anywhere else, but way low here along the horizon. So good observation sent in by Ophir from Oregon. Almost looks like you could reach up and touch it. And it went in both directions, or at least this direction, as far as I could see. And it was the only cloud in the sky. And here's another example of a slender, like the one we just saw, cloud formation, whatever you want to call it, but it's got that perfectly smooth edge on the top. And it goes, again, as far as this man could see, Ron from Michigan, in both directions. Look at that thing. And the top of that thing, it's just almost smooth. Very unusual. I don't remember seeing these things in previous years. I'm talking going back 10, 15, 20, even 30 years. I don't remember seeing things like this. This is sent in from West Virginia by Calvin, who noticed what looked like, called it a blanket in the sky, basically, near the proximity of the sun. Very thick over here on the right, and not a single cloud over here on the left. Good observation. This was another observation from last year, 2018. Just a big long line in the sky. It looks like a track of some sort. Blue skies on both sides of it. This is from South Africa, sent in by Virginia, who noticed this phenomenon. I've had this photo for 2 or 3 weeks. I've been trying to save until I got several of these photos because they come in on a weekly basis, it seems like. When I had enough to make a video, that's when I did this, or why I'm doing this video here, because I had enough material of the same content. Roseanne from Michigan noticed the same phenomenon. Nice straight line in the sky, like you see here. Carrie from Newport News, Virginia. And we're coming up on this big square in the sky. And when that was circulating, not this one, this is a new one. Here's a very good example of that thick line in the sky, sent in from Edmonton. This was taken by Kelsey. And again, I've had this one for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I don't get these every day, but every once in a while I'll get these. And I save them. Now here's the sky square. This is a new one. And this was sent in by Corey from Missouri. And we saw this last year. I saw it actually on TV. Said they didn't really understand this phenomenon completely. I mean, we can speculate and all have theories, I suppose, but this is honestly something fairly new. You know, it's the atmosphere behaving in a different way. This is just a different filter here, but to have these straight lines in the sky, here they're converging, forming what looks like a square in the sky. You know, it's really unique. Gotta admit. Random clouds don't normally behave this way. You know, they look just random. They don't look like 90-degree angles in the sky. So great observation, Corey. What you're looking at is the same original photograph using multiple filters, just getting a different look. This is more of the original photograph that I received, and very few clouds over here on the left. However, if you do look here, I don't know if that's some sort of a reflection, but there is something right there that almost completes a 90-degree angle here on this section of clouds too. This one's pretty obvious, but there's something almost transparent. Don't know what that is. It could be a reflection. That's definitely not a reflection. It's very obvious. It's another one of those giant sky squares. And here is the opposite of what we just saw. A void. That's a perfect square. Photo taken by Keith B. of Orange County, Virginia. Look at that. Same phenomenon, only in reverse. You've got a void. That's a perfect square in the sky. Really weird. You know, looking back my whole life now, thinking about it, I've never seen anything like that. And I inserted the picture of the square that we just looked at just to show you how similar they are. It looks like this was taken from here, and I don't know if these two photos were taken on the same day or not. This one's Missouri, this one's Virginia, but it looks like this was taken from here and put in Missouri. Looks like it would fit in there almost perfectly. Very similar in size. In fact, this one might be a little bigger though in Virginia. Good size. Here's a different filter, just trying to bring out the color, and you can see why they took the photograph. Actually, they sent two. Here's another triangle. This is the original photograph that I received. Let me go back to that. And there almost seems to be a smaller triangle behind it. I don't know if that's something associated with the main triangle, but there's another one over here, and there's also one down here. We saw a photograph like that earlier, or actually last week from Oregon, of a cluster of what appeared to be triangles. They didn't look like random clouds like you see there. Let me stop it right there. See it? Perfect triangle. It's unmistakable. There's one there also, and quite possibly one here. Or it's too difficult to tell. There's clouds in the way, but even there with clouds in the way, totally obvious. Some sort of a triangle craft. There's a good look at it right there. That was sent in by Steve. This one's from Oklahoma City, sent in by Barbara. This is the original. And here I adjust the color and lighting. And once again, some sort of a triangle craft. That's why she took the picture. That's what drew her attention to the sky, was this craft or this cloud or whatever it was that was shaped like a triangle. So good observations, guys. That sky square seems to have reappeared. We saw this last year and it looked like a carbon copy almost of the one we saw last year, spanning what could be miles in the sky. Just simply enormous. I'm going to finish up this video with a look at the skies from Brazil. This was sent in by Adriana of a intense pink sky in Brazil. And she said she just took the video, did not adjust it in any way. This is the original video, untouched. I haven't edited it. I didn't have to. That's what the sky looked like. That's probably one of the most intense pinkish purple skies I think I've ever seen. Great observation, Adriana. And she sent in a couple of photographs. This is a photograph just prior to her taking the video, or quite possibly afterwards. You can see it's changed color just a little bit, where it's kind of a light purple there, and in the video it's definitely a dark pink. Unbelievable. Great observations, guys, and thanks for sharing. I certainly do appreciate it. And we've got more to come. I've got many more emails to get through. In the meantime, don't forget to check out the website, MrMBB333.com. It's linked below in actually every video in the description box. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a super day, and be safe out there.